Sheetali Pranayama is a cooling breath. It helps to calm and relax the mind. It helps to reduce hunger and thirst. And it also helps to reduce or cool off the body temperature, including fevers. This is a great pranayama to practice in a hot yoga studio, or if you're practicing somewhere warm in a humid climate and the body temperature is greatly elevated. Typical contraindications apply. You want to avoid this pranayama if you're experiencing respiratory disorders, and you particularly want to avoid this pranayama if you're practicing in a cooler or cold environment. Since it's a cooling breath, it's not necessary to practice this if you're going to be bringing cold air into the lungs. In technique 1 of Sheetali, you will stick the tongue out of your mouth, and then you roll the tongue up along its sides like a straw so that you can literally suck air in through the tongue. There's a caveat to this technique, though, is that there's a significant portion of the population that is physically unable to roll their tongue, and I happen to be among that population. So if you're like me and you are also unable to roll the tongue, there is a variation of this pranayama called Kaki Pranayama, which is similar in technique, similar in every way, except instead of rolling the tongue up as a straw, you will just form the mouth, form the lips into a similar shape, as if you were sucking air or water or whatever you would be sucking through a straw directly through your lips instead of your tongue. So by this point in time in your life, this is probably something that you've already established. Are you a tongue roller or are you not a tongue roller? You can determine that real quickly if it's still something that you need to figure out. And so the technique is that you'll make the straw shape with your tongue or with your lips, and then you'll do a big inhalation through your straw until you've fully expanded into the upper body, into the chest, into the lungs, into the belly. And then you'll either withdraw the tongue or close off your lips. You'll remove your straw, so to speak, and then you'll exhale everything out through the nose. You can do this through a regular exhalation or with ujjayi breath. And then you'll repeat that whole entire process for a set number of rounds, typically, generally 5 to 21 rounds. So let's practice that technique. Sit up tall, open your chest, relax your face. Roll your tongue or form a straw with your lips. Take a normal breath in. Let a normal breath out. Suck in through your straw. And exhale through your nose. One interesting thing to note is that ancient yogis actually used this technique to pull moisture out of the air. So if you do this pranayama continually, you'll probably discover that you feel moisture collecting along the lower jaw, which afterwards, when you're done with the pranayama, you can swallow and wet your throat, which can enable a yogi to find moisture in the air even when there is none to be had. There is a second technique, which I'll mention in this lesson, is that you can breathe in the same way with Sheetali or with Kaki, and at the top of your inhalation, you hold or retain the breath inside, and you'll just hold that in for as long as you feel comfortable holding it in, and then exhale and repeat that second technique for a similar duration of rounds as you would in the first technique. So the next time you're sweating bullets in your hot yoga class, you can practice Sheetali or Kaki in order to cool the body temperature down.